Hello everyone, and welcome to my first live video. I made myself some notes to just get not totally confused. My name is Patricia Lambertus and I'm a professional artist, and I hear the sound first live video. I made myself some notes to just... Okay. I'm a professional artist over 20 years now. And what does it mean? In the YouTube world, it means something different than in the analog, non-digital world. So I actually want to explain first, what does it really mean to be a professional artist? First of all, I studied at an art academy, and I'm exhibiting international... Oh, God. Sorry, I'm German speaking. So ich habe überall international ausgestellt. So I exhibit internationally in museums, in Kunstvereinen, in galleries, whatever, and art association. And I receive lots of art grants and art residencies where I can actually develop my work. And here I'm coming now to my work, and I want to show you one of my biggest catalog I made. It's about digital collage and site-specific works. So just to show you a little bit of this, it's like just an impression of some works I do. And this is actually what I find very interesting in the art world. So I can go to some different places. Some people are inviting me, curators are inviting me, and I can make a big work there with some research and whatever. So just to get an impression what I'm doing. So, but why I'm now on YouTube and what do I want to do on YouTube? It's like I have a question for myself, and it's kind of, is it possible, like I'm teaching now art also in academies and universities and schools, and my question is it possible to teach art online also on YouTube? So this is kind of an experiment. And you are just with me in this experiment. So, and what does art teaching really mean? So if you are in an art academy, you can't really teach art directly because there is no way to teach art. You can teach like techniques, you can teach whatever, some informations, but you can never really teach art. You just can, like in an art academy, the things just happens. Like there's a space where all this art nerds and professors and art students are gathering together, and there's a space where art can evolve. So it's not really teaching, it's more like building a space where it can happen. So, and for me, it's really kind of interesting to find out if this will work also in an online space. And I just made some videos of drawing. And as you see my work before, it has nothing really direct to do with this drawing techniques. But for me and for all other artists, like Paul Cézanne, for example, he was drawing like every day. He was especially not a drawing artist, he was more like a painter, but he used this technique for getting creative and getting things done and getting the eye and hand movement together and try to explore something with his hands. And so also when my career starts, I was drawing a lot, and for me, it's also like a technique where you can experiment and try something out and look how it really works. So even if you want to become a filmmaker, a painter, a sculptor, whatever, drawing for me and for lots of other artists is a very essential thing. So that's why I started with this drawing practice. And actually, I made some videos with some very easy drawing practice, and I just want to show now how I do it live. So we have this one called contour drawing. That means you are only drawing the lines, like if you have something, I would just start with some daily object you have around, like something like a candle, like a salt, Salzstreuer, I don't know, something like this. So just for getting started, this is for most people, I think, the most difficult part. Just to start and don't make it so complicated. You can just have like 5 minutes a day and just start. If you make something like a contour drawing, you just use the line where the object meets the background. And I just can do it now very simple and quick. And it's not about to make it really, really, really super realistic. It's more like to find your way to get into an interesting drawing or to explore the object in front of you. So I just do it now with a really big one, just to make it, like you can even set yourself a timer like 2 minutes or whatever. And then you just go here. So really very quick, just to get the done tube. Then get the smaller thing. It's getting here. Okay. And actually, then you can just make them over here. So that's it. So just very easy, very quick. And just to get started, it doesn't even have to be totally perfect. So we just can make even something with not with another tool. So just got over here. So this is actually very easy, the contour drawing. And it's really more that your eyes get used to follow the lines and just get it very quick and simple and don't get too fuzzy. So that's it. You can also use this charcoal. It's actually a very interesting material. Okay, good. So actually, because every material has different Ausdruck. What does Ausdruck mean in English? Expression, I think. So you just can play around a little bit. You don't have to be perfect just to get started, and it's just easy like this. So even here, if you just make really quick drawings, you can just see, even if you have the same the same Pfefferstreuer or Salzstreuer. You just can, you just have totally different expression, like with a big marker, with a pencil. So what did I do? Ah. Oh, with a charcoal. So this is actually just a very easy lesson to start. If you are even blocked or whatever, you just can grab yourself even a smaller thing, like a sticky note, something. And if you just have no time, like no time in a day, like you're working busy, you can just get like 1 minute. Everybody gets 1 minute, right? So you get the same, you just do this now with the Pfefferstreuer, the same, just a totally normal pen, just a sticky thing laying around. And before breakfast or whenever, you just sit there, take your pen and just make this very quick drawing. 1 minute, you can set a timer. So, and it's not really not about perfection, it's about getting started and just let your hand do the drawing, and that's it. So this is actually not even 1 minute, I think. So this is one lecture, and we can do another one. Wait. And also, if you have some question or whatever, you want to do something, just let me know. I'm doing this live, so you can just tell me what I should do, and I'm just doing it. So one very interesting thing is blind drawing. I don't know if you have ever heard of blind drawing. That doesn't mean that you are closing your eyes and you are drawing. That means your eyes are focused on this Salzstreuer. Maybe somebody can write me down what it means in English, like pepper or salt mill, I think. So if you are doing blind drawing, that means you're really focusing on the thing and not on the paper. And this is very important because if you're always looking on the paper, you are just trying to erase, you want to try to make it nice, you want to make it a perfect drawing, but this really gets in conflict with your creativity. So just to loosen up and to let your drawing speak, it's a very good technique. So your eyes are on the object and not on the paper. So, but actually you have to start to look at the paper because you have to figure out where to start. So, and then I'm just really only looking on the object and trying to draw it. And this is just the thing of observing things. So not correcting, but observing with your eyes. And your hand is just following your eyes. There we go. And then we have to go back and maybe, okay, this ends over here. So this time I do it like, and the best thing is like you have lots of papers, cheap paper, so you're not kind of, it's like this is a very special paper and I can't use it. So get yourself really lots of papers which are not very expensive, so cheap paper or whatever, just so you have lots of paper and you just can try it. So now I do this again with this vertical, not horizontal. And here I start again. There are some rifles over there. So, and then I'm not looking on the paper, so I just can think where I go back and forth to find the lines over there. So there we go. We can make it with other objects like candle. So on here also, I'm just looking on the candle. Maybe I have to put it a little bit higher, otherwise I see my image. So and it's really more learning to observe and not to make it totally perfect. So, and I got one of so das ist die Rolle. And make one more object like this one. And it's really just for trying and playing around, nothing really serious, just to get yourself moving. So, and if you do it for a while, you can feel how your line's getting looser and more not so stiff and not so overthinking lines. And this is one really very important thing for drawing practice and art practice and every creative practice, actually. So there is one also very interesting thing. It's like the negative drawing, the negative space drawing. I had actually one I made for one video. And there you can see, if you see the drawing before, so there you have the space around, it's really dark, and the white thing just pops out. So the form, like if we make it with this form, like the form is now in the front and the background is light. But if we start to, for example, to make the background really dark, if you're really drawing the negative space,
Sei dort reagieren. Bitte überprüfe, ob das Gerät mit Strom versorgt wird und online ist.
and okay, I'm just doing this now. So for the first time, you just can use your drawings that you made before and just make the negative space around it. If you are getting better at this, you can try it without using the drawing before and just try to figure out the negative space without the lines, just with the form around it. And so as you see, the thing pops totally out of the image. And this is also very interesting if you see it like this, or if you see it like this. So they are just two different things where you can just try to improve your drawing skills. And actually I also made a video out of this where you can see how you switch your, you can switch your focus from the front to the back, so that the form goes back and forth like a wie heißt das noch auf Englisch? Wie eine Wippe. If you have some words in English, just let me know. So, and then we have this shadow drawing. And you can, shall we do one more of this? Shadow drawing. Like every object has a light and a shadow part, and in between, like middle, like very dark, very light. And it's also a training that you are going to see more the shadow and the light. And maybe you just get yourself some objects and get a very bright light from the side, so you can see here's darker things, there's a light popping up, and then you can just try to not to do the, okay, this is one thing, you can do the lines, or you can just do the surroundings, or you just try to figure out only the shadow thing. So, and then you just start with not even doing lines, but maybe only like the shadow forms. So you go here, and then you go here. It's more like this, just to get it. And then you have, there's some more light, and there's one more dark. And actually it's kind of difficult to explain things while I'm drawing, because it's the different side of the brain if you are acting and if you're drawing. So if you're thinking too much about your drawing, you can't really draw, because you can draw or you can think of your drawing. So that's a kind of point. I can tell you this. So if you just want to get into the real creative flow, you should maybe, you can put some music on. You just go, I don't know, maybe for a walk first, or just relax and just doodle around and then start the thing. Because otherwise, if you're getting to overthink things, it's kind of getting really messy, or it's kind of getting very stiff or whatever. So just play around with shadows and forms or whatever. And while you're doing this with the shadow on the object, there's also a shadow on the table where it sits. And it's really more about observation and not about getting perfect. So the most time the shadow right to the object, it's more darker, and then it fades a little bit out. So and also for the block creative, it's really a good thing you get prepared yourself, or you always have, like in the morning, you just have everything on the table. So just like a little sticky note, always a piece of paper, and then just start. You can even make a, like this really only takes 5 minutes or 3 minutes. Like even with a shadow, you can just do it with a big marker. So okay, this is not getting anywhere. So this is shitty, but this is also interesting. The things that don't really work out pretty well are also sometimes very interesting. I just go over this. So it doesn't have to come out perfect. It's just a way of training your eyes and your hand. So, and if you do this every day, you will get to your creative potential. I hope so. And I don't know, maybe we finish this now. Okay, wie viel Zeit haben wir jetzt? Okay. I think, yeah. Okay, I think this is enough for today. I can just show you again, like, just you have to go, keep on going, just go and look where it does lead you. And just experiment with all kind of markers. Just play around, make some doodling around it. And just try to be playful, easy. So I think we just finished this for today. My first live stream, oh my god. So, and I hope you enjoyed it a little bit, and we will see each other hopefully more. Okay, bye.